Welcome back, guys, to the Backyard Talk podcast. And this is my co-host, Diego.
Yo.
I'm Alex. And yeah, we finally did our first episode. And yeah, this is our second episode right now. It's fucking hard, bro.
It's pretty hard.
It's hard to
It's
fucking
pretty
lead the
hard.
conversation.
It's pretty hard, yeah. Right now I'm looking kind of tired, so alright.
I know, I'm
gonna
fucking
get
tired.
it soon.
All right, go ahead. Right. Damn, I think I needed that. I'm not gonna lie, I think that alcohol helped me in the last podcast.
It definitely helped me.
But whatever, we could chop it up, right? We could chop it up a little bit.
Alright, so anyways, yeah, welcome back to Backyard Talks, guys. This is our second episode. One of hundreds of episodes that we're gonna do.
Definitely. Hundreds.
Yeah, and so look, there we go with the pauses again. But yeah, after examining our first podcast, it was really nice to see like how we talked and interacted and kind of, how do you say conversation, like
Conversation?
conversation, converse-size? I don't know the word.
I don't know, but it was very humbling, to be honest, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It was humbling to see how we were talking, how we were interacting. Probably like a little, I'm over here thinking, or you're over here saying that I'm like a good conversationalist, like I'm a good conversation, but I feel like watching myself, I don't think I am. I feel like I can improve on some areas. But
Yeah,
for the
you
most
were
part,
definitely doing good. I was kind of leading the last podcast.
you definitely were leading the last
so,
podcast.
Yeah, right now I'm just a lot more calm, trying to improve on the mistakes that I saw in the last podcast, which was like using a lot of filler words. So right now I'm just gonna like try to get direct to the point, slowing down my conversation.
Definitely.
Yeah, because like definitely watching yourself like do things like this, like a podcast where you're trying to talk and trying to get to a point, or like trying to talk on a certain subject.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of see yourself, kind of. I'm doing it right now, but
yeah, you're like kind of like trying to find words.
Yeah,
to
you kind of
make your sentences kind of be longer and fill time up almost.
Yeah.
But if I would say if I would give you one criticism to improve on this, I would definitely say not necessarily like get straight to the point, but maybe like add more info instead of just filler.
Yeah, I definitely do a lot of filler. I'm just like or then I just put in some like random words like nice or something like that.
But if you would give me one like a criticism, if you would criticize me about the way I was on the podcast, what would be it?
I can't really criticize you because you were actually doing, in my opinion, you were actually doing really good. You were more you were taking it nice, so you were giving it thought. It's just same problem with me, the sometimes,
Yeah,
like,
but to be fair, I feel like it was a little easier for me to be more thoughtful and to actually have information on what I say because of the fact that you were leading the conversation. So you don't really have as much time as I do to really think and add information. Like you're constantly, talking and trying to like keep the podcast moving. Whereas I could sit here for a little bit, not say nothing, and think about something or think about a subject or think about what I'm gonna say next.
yeah.
So I feel like it's a little easy. It was a little easier on my part. Last podcast,
for me it was
sure.
more challenging because it was like, what's the next topic? And if anything that popped up in my head, I just jumped straight into it. But yeah, we also trying it for the first time too. We actually see that we actually have to plan a podcast in a way.
We definitely need a plan.
Kind of like a script or of where the podcast is going and like in a certain direction.
Yeah, not I guess a script, but not like a script, but more like a guide. So we have these talking points. So we have talking points, and then that way we're not really jumping around from subject to subject because we have what we want to talk about now.
Yeah, even though like you could honestly like go with the flow of everything and just like talk. Yeah. And see whatever comes. Maybe we might do that whenever days we just don't know what to talk about.
But I feel like right now, since we're just starting off, because you guys are gonna see us kind of grow as hosts, podcast hosts,
individuals
too. Because, I mean, as you can see from the last podcast, it probably wasn't the best.
No, it definitely isn't gonna be the best. It's the first.
It's the first podcast.
It's the first podcast. You're obviously, when you're first trying things, you're not gonna be the best at it. So obviously, I personally saw a lot of mistakes because I was editing and stuff, and it was actually kind of nice, humbling to see. And yeah, we just gotta work on what we see. Just look at our errors, improve, see what needs to be done, and yeah, get the job done.
Yeah, and I feel like he's not like a damn NFL player, bro. NFL player said we just gotta get in there and get the job done, man. Nah, but
We watching tapes.
watching tapes, bro, watching how to improve for sure. But I would definitely want to give like props though to Diego, because I mean, I just come here, and I talk, I sit in front of the camera, but he's actually behind the scenes editing and setting up the camera, and these are his mics. So it's props to him, because I
Appreciate it,
just come
appreciate it.
here and talk, and he's actually doing a lot of the behind the scenes work. But like I said from the last podcast, he is the brains behind it. So
I mean, you got a laptop, bro. We could get you on the journey
that
there.
is true. That is
Yeah.
true.
What type of laptop you got?
It's not a good laptop. It's literally like a shitty little laptop that I have for school, just to do like little lessons for my work, for my like trade school.
Is it like
It doesn't have like no RAM, dude.
no?
No,
Yeah.
it has no RAM. It's
Yeah.
literally, you can't even play like any games on it.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally strictly just for school.
Yeah, because I recently got a laptop just so I could do like editing and stuff. I got like 24, so the base is like recommended is like around 16.
Hmm.
I used to have an 8 gig RAM, bro. Literally, try to edit small clips on there. Too much for the computer. Would like it was stuttering the whole entire time. It sucked.
See, if that's what happened to that one, my computer would probably burn. It'll just
Yeah.
fucking
I'm
explode.
pretty sure I fucked up my other computer because of that.
Because how
Yeah.
much you were forcing it.
Yeah, bro, it would sound like a jet, bro. Like all you hear is the whole entire time I was trying to edit. I was like,
No,
man.
mine, you can't even push it at all. Like, I'm telling you, like, you can't even play like a game on it. That's how bad it is. That's literally how bad it is. And if you play any kind of game, it's like lagging and stuff. So it's not good for
Yeah,
none of that.
yeah.
But Michelle, maybe, depending how this goes, I'll definitely get a laptop
Yeah,
so I
later
can
on.
so I can
Yeah.
edit for sure. For
Yeah,
sure.
because it's kind of time consuming, but I feel like I could get this done faster now because I kind of got an idea of what to expect. Because the first time jumping into this, I kind of just got all the clips together and I was like, dang, this is a lot. But
You were kind of experimenting
yeah,
too.
it was kind of experience, especially with the color. I really liked the
Yeah.
way the color turned out. I felt like it turned out nice, cool, vibrant.
It definitely turned out nice. I like the way it looks for sure. But I mean, either way, like, it's not like that's how it's gonna stay all the time either. I mean, eventually it's gonna switch up, and it's gonna, it's gonna evolve as well, the way the actual podcast looks.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. This is just a start.
It's a start. It's a
So,
start. But
we'll buy Erica more props.
yeah, we'll buy Erica more props, man.
For her
We'll put
house,
something
too.
up, buy her some plants, add to the background.
But yeah, it was really something nice to see to start basically, and yeah, hopefully, because my goal with this was to is the public speaking thing, and it's really nice to see yourself talk. I like the way I examined myself and was like, "Ooh, I didn't like that. Now I can fix it. Now I'm more calm. I'm just talking, getting to the point.
Yeah.
Not adding and I'm not thinking fast. I'm just taking my time, chilling with it.
Yeah.
Also, I was pretty nervous the first podcast.
I mean, I can tell you're still nervous right now.
I was still shaking my leg.
You're still shaking your leg.
But that's kind of something I do sometimes.
Yeah,
But
when you're nervous.
no, not even.
Or just in general?
I could just be chilling and go like this.
Yeah. I feel like that's low key, like almost like a nervous tick, I feel like. Maybe.
Probably. Who knows? I'm probably nervous right now.
Because I'll do something like I'll like sometimes I'll rub my leg like beside my knee for some reason, and it's like a self-soothing kind of mechanism, I guess, or
Yeah.
tick that you do. Like everybody has a little tick to self-soothe. It's weird.
a little tick.
Yeah, I guess I would call. I don't know what I would call it. Maybe a little tick is not the right word, but I mean, that's like a little something that people have.
But yeah, enough talk about that. I kind of wanted to get into the conversation of like trades and stuff. Like, you're an electrician,
I am an electrician.
So- so I kind of wanted to ask, like, what got you in the electrician like space or like route?
Okay, so like in like, I guess like the blue collar area, I guess. Well, it wasn't like it was planned, if I'm being honest. It wasn't like it was planned. The way it kind of happened, it kind of just fell into my lap. I was actually doing another kind of work. I was actually doing what was it?
Granite.
No, not granite. I was doing damn, I'm blanking. I was doing the security systems.
Mhm.
I was doing the security systems, and you go from house to house installing people's security systems, and then I happened to walk into a foreman's house, who was he was an electrician. He was a foreman, and he asked me like, oh, like, have you thought of like if you're gonna do anything after this, or if you're gonna stay doing this? And I told him, I'm like, to be honest, I don't know. Like for now, I mean, it pays the bills. It is what it is. And he told me, he's like, well, have you ever thought about it? Like, have you ever thought about doing electrical? He's like, I'm an electrician. I'm a foreman. And then he kind of explained to me pretty much kind of like the route to take to actually go into the field. And he so happens to be part of a union. So that union has a school, and it's a trade school
Hmm.
that allows you to work and go to school at the same time. You
Yeah.
know, so pretty much, I applied. I applied. You take a test to see. The whole test pretty much is to see if you're not dumb, right? If you got common sense, and it's not really a hard test. It's
But
a little
like
bit of
it's kind
math.
of like on math, reading, and
Yeah,
just the basics of it.
literally math and reading. That's all it is.
Oh.
Math and reading. They just try to make sure that you know how to do math and that you know how to read. And that's pretty much it. And don't get me wrong, like it's a little difficult, but I mean, not really. Like you can easily pass it
Yeah,
for
just
sure.
with a bit of studying, just the
Exactly, just a bit
basics.
of
Like,
studying.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
I honestly over prepared. Like I over prepared way too much just
Did
because.
Did you get a good score on it?
Yeah, I got a crazy score on it. Like
Okay.
they never told us what score we get, but they kind of put us in classes. They put us in classes of where we're gonna be at, pretty much like if they have like little ranks almost of how you score,
Hmm.
and then like like this bracket right here, the highest bracket is gonna go into this classroom. Then the middle bracket is gonna go into this classroom, and then the lower ones, the ones that are dumb, basically that didn't get that high score, that managed to pass, but barely, they put him into like a separate class. And I happen to be in like the highest scoring class, pretty
Yeah.
much. So I mean, it's not. I feel like it's not really big props because again, it's not like it was anything crazy,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
That's kind of crazy that they just divide you. I wonder if, like the lower classes, they make you like they make you like learn math and reading and stuff like that. Do they give like extracurricular like?
No, they don't do all of that. I think it's I actually don't know. If I'm being honest with you, I think it's because like they curve classes, they curve classes. So pretty much like depending on how your other classmates do, if let's say everybody got this question wrong, they'll curve the test, and I think with them they give them a little bit
Oh, just like
extra
yeah,
curve for them,
yeah,
which I don't know. You could call it fair or unfair, but I don't know. At least I know that I'm not dumb. You know?
yeah. I was gonna ask whenever you were like going through the school part and everything, were you just like ever having doubts of like being in the trade or like pursuing the path
Yeah,
or career?
definitely, definitely. Like the first year, I definitely was like, "What is this?" Like, cause like you know, it's a union, right? So they have money, but they don't have money. You know,
Hmm.
it's not like a government school, like like public school. You know, public
Yeah,
school or like it just because public school is. It's not like it's oh my god a lot of money, but it's ran by the government.
yeah.
So they have fundings behind them, the school board. So it's like everything they have their stuff together. They have their stuff together. They have their lessons. They have the classrooms, and there it's just one building. It's just one big building, and it's a couple classrooms, and it's like not as organized, but it just was like weird. So I was like, yo, is this really this really it? But but honestly, that wasn't really the thing that had me doubting what I was doing. What really had me doubting was whenever the first year they put us directly into like the biggest job in the area, which was pretty much when they were building Epic Universe,
Hmm.
right? And that's whenever I was working there as a first year. When I got there, they really didn't teach me anything. The whole first year, I really didn't learn anything. Like they had all the first year pretty much just digging and pretty much digging holes,
Damn,
like
that would
digging
suck. I
trenches.
would hate to just like go to work, dig. Did you like gain like shoulder strength or something like that?
Well, to be fair, I had like before any of this job, right? I worked doing irrigation,
Mhm.
and there was a crazy amount of digging. You always have to dig, and I actually like build up, I guess, your endurance and my form for it. So really, digging wasn't really
Yeah,
it
problem
wasn't a
or like
problem for
issue.
me.
Yeah,
But for some people, like some people were green. Like green means like pretty much that they've never
like
worked
soft hands.
soft
You got
hands,
soft
pretty much.
hands.
Like they've never done anything. So they pretty much like some people that were green, like you saw them digging, and you're like, yo, what is this guy
like,
doing, man? Like, really? But
like, damn, bro, like your dad ever teach you?
no, like for real, like some people have. It looks like they've never picked up a shovel in their life, and it's like, bro, like, come on. But it's like I'm pretty sure they expected the same thing that I did, because whenever I joined, I didn't know anything about electrical. I didn't know the process of it. I didn't know what went into it. I didn't know that digging, as much digging went into it as there is. Like pipe work. I didn't expect that there would be as much pipe work as there is
Yeah,
to it.
I still can't wrap my head around like what do y'all dig for? Because like I have no idea about electrical and stuff.
Yeah,
Do y'all like run wires underground or
yeah.
something?
We run wires underground. So for example, like we'll have like a transformer somewhere, and from that transformer, obviously you can't have just a wire, hanging on the floor. You can just have
Yeah.
it laying on the floor. You pretty much dig a trench from there all the way to the building, and you run your pipe, right?
Hmm.
And the size of the pipe varies on pretty much the amount of wires are going to run through it.
Mm.
So you could run like a small pipe, or you could run like a huge pipe, like a 4-inch pipe or some shit like that. And yeah, that's what we were digging. We were just digging a whole bunch of trenches. I mean, they had excavators, but in some areas they couldn't really get the excavator in there, so we'd have to dig by hand. Like there was times where I was digging months at a time. Like we were just digging and digging and digging.
And that's whenever you would like doubt, like, oh, what am I doing? I'm just
Yeah,
wasting, you know.
yeah. Like I'm wasting my
Yeah, I
time.
would assume I would be like, man, what am I doing digging? Like,
Yeah, and as like a first year, they don't really pay you anything. Like you're basically just working just for nothing, right? And I was definitely doubting it. Like I was like, damn, like what am I doing? Like I remember like there'd be times where I just didn't even want to get up. Like I would wake up and I just would dread going to work. Like I'm like, I don't
dang.
want to go to work. I don't want to go to work. There's was times where I just didn't go to work because I was like, yo, I just don't want to go. Like it's like I like, and on top of that, what made it worse is like sometimes, yeah, shitty work sucks, right? And it's okay. But sometimes like the thing that keeps you going is the people that you're working with, because they're good people, everybody's a good vibe, and things go well, and the day passes by quick. But the thing that made it kind of like suck was that we had a foreman that really sucked. Like
It was just like annoying.
he
It
was
was just
so
like,
annoying. He was an asshole pretty much.
dang.
Yeah, and he
Dang, yeah, I can't imagine me being like in a workplace where I was just digging for, especially one whole year. You were like
I was like one whole year there.
dang, that's
and
crazy.
and it sucked. Yeah, and that guy, he like he was the worst.
What
And
would
he
he do?
he was more like he would like kind of like he didn't like watching you. Like if you would, like, for example, let's say for example I was digging a trench. Let's say I dig a trench from like that side of the yard to like the other side of the yard, and you just dug it, and if you're like, okay, we that's the task, we completed, okay, shit, like, let's take like a little 5-minute break, and then like as soon as you finish, okay, come on, let's go do this, let's go do that. And it's like, bro, like,
Oh, so
relax.
he was just like all about hustle and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And the thing is, like, my the boss on top of him had already talked to him. He's like, yo, like, they're they're doing the work, like we're getting the work done, that we're getting even more than what we were expecting. They're like, what's the rush? Like, because I was actually cool with the guy above him,
Hmm.
and he was like, yo, I've talked to him, like I don't know what's going on with him, like, and yeah,
Bro,
like
bro, just trying to get that promotion,
that's what he was thinking. That's what
yeah,
the guy above him was telling me. He thought that he was just trying to like kind of like kiss ass up to like pretty much their like the other guy's
yeah, and the
boss,
project managers and
like
stuff,
the
yeah,
superintendent.
yeah.
That's what he thought. He thought he was kind of just trying to like show out, and but like I don't know, that guy sucked, and he made a lot of people like just dread being there.
Did anyone like end up quitting
Yeah, a
under
lot of
his?
people ended up
Damn,
quitting.
that's crazy.
A lot of people ended up
And it
quitting.
sucks because maybe like they want to pursue that and they probably won't pursue it again because of him.
No,
Like,
yeah, it's true.
it's,
I know one guy who literally he dropped it, and he's doing something completely different now,
damn,
literally because of how much he hated going there. He
damn.
sucked, and I'm glad once I got moved from there. But during that whole time, I was doubting like if this is really what I want to do, because I didn't like the whole year. I didn't learn anything about electrical, and then after that,
So it was just straight digging.
it
You
was just
didn't.
straight digging.
Damn,
He didn't give people opportunity to really learn anything,
damn.
and
Where,
luckily towards the end of that time that I was there was like a journeyman that was there, and he took a liking to me. His name's Brian. Shout out Brian. um yeah, he took a liking to me, and he kind of like took me under his wing, and he kind of was like showing me a little bit more. And the foreman, that specific foreman that was an asshole, he would make sure that like the first year they're like, oh, you got to get in the hole, you got to go dig, right? So whenever that foreman would come around, and then he'll be like, "Oh, Brian, you need him, because I need guys to dig." And then Brian would be like, "No, man, like he's helping me, he's helping me, like leave him alone." It's like go, like go get another first year, like he's helping me. And sometimes we really wouldn't be doing anything, but he's
Dang.
like, "Yo," he's like, he's
Dang,
like,
that man's a dig.
"Yeah,
Dude.
literally, I swear, like we would be doing something." And let's just say, for example, we actually were doing something, and we were like building a rack or something. And then as soon as like he would come around and he would see me like standing for even like a second, he'd be like, "Oh, do you need him? Is he working? Like, do you need him? Because I can get him doing something right now." And then Brian's like, "Yo, chill. Like, we're working, relax. We're
Dang.
thinking about something what we're gonna do right now." And then he'll be like, "Oh, okay, okay." And then he'll leave and he'll come back again like later. But then after a certain point, he stopped bothering me because he realized that that specific journeyman was like kind of telling him to fuck off, basically.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, bro, shout out Brian, definitely, because if it wasn't for him, I probably would
Quit.
have quit, to be
Yeah,
honest.
nah, that sounds dreadful. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't want to deal with anything like that. But like,
Yeah.
how did he get cool with them? Did you just like happen to like bring up a conversation with him one day, and it was just like something sparked, or did he just like have an eye for you for like your work ethic or something like that?
Um. Yeah, it was pretty much like we were there. Like at one point, like because don't get me wrong, some journeymen have to dig or whatever, or sometimes they will need to like help with something, right? And they'll just need like they'll be like, "Oh, can I get an apprentice? I need help with this," right? They'll request it, right? And then one of us will go and help him, right? And I guess like the time that I did go work with him, I was like, you know what, like, because I always was like that. I was like, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it right, and I'm gonna, if I can shit, I go above and beyond, right? So he like, I guess he saw that in me, that he was like, oh, this guy actually wants to learn, and I would ask questions, and like I even have like on my phone still, because like they do work reports,
Yeah.
whoever you're working with, like the journeyman that you're working with, they'll do like a work report, and they'll give like comments and be like, oh, like pretty much comments to like the school saying, oh, like if this guy sucks, they'll be like, oh yeah, he sucks, he has a bad attitude, blah blah blah. And he would even put on there, he'd be like, yeah, this guy, he doesn't know much yet, yeah, but he's like, but I could tell that he wants to learn,
Yeah.
and he has good work ethic, and he's like, you know he's a hustler, basically. And like, yeah, that's pretty much what it was. Like he kind of took a liking to me, and he, like, a lot of the kids that were there, like they were there, but like they didn't really take it serious like that.
Yeah.
You know,
Was it a bunch of young people or just like already
there
like
was a mix.
a
There was a
mix?
mix, to be honest. That's the one thing that I like about that, is there's like a mix. There's like people that are like really young, like straight out of high school. There's people that are like there, and they're like in their 40s, and it's like they're barely starting off,
Hmm.
and I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Like, the diversity,
Yeah, that's kind of one thing about college. Whenever,
like blue collar work.
yeah, or just college in general. Like it's totally different experience from like high school. You graduate and everything. Go to college, you see some grown ass people like already like have kids and stuff, and they're just over there trying to get a degree. It's kind of
Yeah,
crazy to
it
see.
is crazy, and that's
Yeah,
how it is in like the
the
trade.
trade. Yeah, I'm
It's
assuming.
how it is. Like, like for example, right now, I'm like working directly with one guy. He's like, 32. I'm 25, but he's like 32. I mean, it's not that big of a gap, but like me and him, like we're super cool. Like we're super cool, and like it's like a weird
Hmm.
dynamic. You don't expect to be like, oh yeah, I'm friends with this like 32-year-old. Or like whenever I worked at that project, there was like this one. He was like probably like 60 something, pushing 70, and he was still out there. And like, I would fuck around with him, and like just mess with him and talk shit. And it's like, it's funny, it's because you don't expect that.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to see because like I've been seeing videos like on Instagram of like just workers or grupos like acting like sus with each other,
Yeah.
just like fucking around during work, and the comments be like, "Damn, that's really someone's strict dad or something." And
Yeah,
it's funny
bro.
because like you see like a whole bunch of diversity within like trades or just like jobs in general, and you just never think yourself, oh, like say I were to start working at a restaurant, I'm friends or I make friends with like a 42-year-old chef.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of
No,
funny.
it is funny. It is funny because it's like I'm over here talking shit to somebody's grandpa,
Yeah,
probably.
it's just
This is
like
probably somebody's grandpa, and I'm over here acting sus as fuck with him. And it's just funny. But yeah, for after that, to be honest, after I left that job site, my first year, I want to say like the second year of like my apprenticeship, it went a lot better for sure. Like I met, this one guy would go really in depth into everything, and he would explain things very thoroughly, and like honestly, like he made me like realize, like he opened my eyes to like what the trade can be,
Mhm.
pretty much. And like pretty much like he was a complete opposite of what I experienced my first year, and it was nice.
Yeah, I feel like for a lot of jobs and stuff, you just need the right right mentor basically to like kind of guide you in the way, because if you have a really bad mentor, it could kind of like demotivate you and just like give you doubts, and you could honestly just like quit at any point because you just don't have faith in the things you're doing.
Exactly. Yeah, because like that first guy, I mean, not the first guy, but like that second year, his name was Frank, right? Yeah, his name was Frank, and he really like explained everything to me so thoroughly, and like he also took a liking to me. But one thing that I did notice about the union is it's a little messed up. Well, it's not really messed up. Like they're not gonna waste their time giving knowledge to people who don't want it, you know.
Hmm.
And that's kind of how it is. Like, and whenever they notice that you actually want to learn and that you're actually interested in the trade, they're gonna take the time to
Teach you
teach
properly,
you
yeah.
properly and explain things to you. So that guy would take his time and explain this to me. And then there was like this other people who didn't really show as much interest, or like they kind of were just messing around or fucking around or whatever. And that he kind of just like pushed him to the side, and he didn't really teach him anything like that. And it's like it's kind I would say it's like messed up because those people don't get to learn like that, but at the same time it's their own doing.
Yeah, it's their own doing. Honestly, because why am I going to teach you? Like, say you wanted to get into camera work and stuff, and you just don't. I don't see like the spark of you wanting to try. I'm not going to teach you.
Of
It's just going to
course,
be wasting time.
of course.
Yeah, I kind of get them on that. Like if you really want it, like you're going to succeed because you're putting your effort into wanting to learn how to.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
Eh,
that makes sense. It's not like
yeah, and like the guy that I'm with now, he's I want to say he's probably the one that has taught me the most throughout my whole year. Like I'm majority like I would want to say like 70% of what I know now I
that's
probably
good.
know because of him.
And what year is it? Like the
This like third year that
third
I'm
year?
yeah third year.
Dang, so
So
you're
like kind
two.
of like into second year into third year because I started with him in second year going into third year. So like I've been with him for about a year, like an actual calendar year almost.
Dang, that's just,
Yeah, and he definitely has taught me the most, I would say, and also because of the fact that he noticed that I actually cared and that I
mhm.
actually wanted to try it. Because I honestly like met him at a job site, and then there he was teaching everybody that actually wanted to learn, and he was teaching everybody, and he was being very thorough. And it's funny because he's a vet, you know, he's a marine.
Mhm.
So the way he would teach us, it was almost like he was like drilling us almost. It was funny. And but shit, it worked. I mean, almost every single guy that was in that job site now that actually did care and actually got taught by him are actually succeeding in their job sites.
Dang.
I swear, because like I talked to every single one of them. I still stay in contact with them, and I always ask them like, "Yo, how you doing?" He's like, "Oh yeah, like I'm doing this. You know, I'm like, I'm with this guy. You know, I'm doing great. Blah blah blah." And it's like I don't know, like we're all succeeding, but
Dang,
it's also because like
good teacher.
he's a really good teacher. But on top of that, I feel like the mentality that was there helped a lot because they were all majority of them were all younger than me by like maybe a couple years. Some of them were like 18. So for some reason, like they also it's weird because they kind of like I want to say look up to me, but whenever I spoke, they listened and like how
Who
I
the
am right
18
here.
year old? The
Yeah, like
18
the
year
18
old.
everybody that was there, like they were a little bit younger. Because to be honest, like out of the apprentices, I was probably like the oldest. I want to say everybody was like 23, 20, 22, 18, but they all would like kind of like listen to what I had to say, and just like how I talk here, I would talk to them. I would tell them like, "Yo, don't take it for granted. Like, actually, think about it. Think about it. Like, you're gonna be doing this for the rest of your life. Like, you're gonna like if you're gonna be doing this for the rest of your life, do you really want to suck at it, or do you want to be good at it? Like, do you want to have the skills to make this job easy on yourself, or do you want to be struggling for the rest of your life?" And I would tell them like that. Like, think about it. Like, because, they just got out of high school. They would have the mentality of like high school. Like, oh, yeah, they're telling me something, but, I'm still fuck around with,
Yeah,
this
in
guy.
high school you could like so bullshit. I bullshit about my entire high school. Like,
Exactly. And
yeah,
it's like they're like, okay, I'm listening to what you're saying. Okay, we're going to do this work. But they're going bullshit with each other, right? And I would tell them, like, yeah, like, that's cool, right? Yeah, like, if we're not too busy, yeah, talking shit is fun, right? It's cool. Or even, like, if we're busy, you could talk shit and do your work at the same time, right? But I would tell him like think like you have to like this is your job. It's not school no more. Like you got to take it serious.
yeah.
You got
There's certain points where you just gotta like lock in. Like
exactly,
when the busy like work comes around, you just actually gotta do the work and get it
exactly.
done.
And what I would tell him is like, yo, like your work is pretty much like the way that you eat, the way it's where you're gonna be living at, depending on what you do. Your work. and it's like you want to like also be good at it. You know, you don't want to be bullshit at it. You know, because you're gonna be doing this for the rest of your life, dude. Like, it's I don't know. It just in my eyes, the way I see it is like if you're gonna be doing this for the rest of your life, why stab yourself in the back?
Yeah.
Why not be good at it? Why not try to be proficient at it? And that's what I would tell them. And yeah, and it's also like the guy that's teaching me now, he would also tell us, but he wasn't as like how I am that I go really deep into the conversation about it.
Yeah.
He's more like listen to what I'm telling you. It's gonna help you in the future, and that's it. But me, like whenever we would sit together, because at that job site it was at nighttime, so it would be like,
Oh, it's like
like
a deep night talk. You
yeah,
know?
literally, it
Oh,
would be
dang,
like
that.
3 in the morning. It would be like 3 in the morning, and like we're taking our break, whatever. We take like a little 30-minute break. We're sitting down. It was like around like a little table, and it's all of us sitting down talking shit. And then we would all just be like huddle around like in a little table, and we'll just be talking. And then I'll be like literally telling them like, yo, like gotta take this shit serious, blah blah blah. And it's like a little deep talk, and I don't know. I feel like almost like it. I feel like talking to them like that in a way kind of help them a
Mhm.
little bit, because like sometimes I guess as men, we nobody really ever talks. Nobody ever really gets into deep conversations.
Oh
Nobody
yeah,
really
for sure.
ever goes into like being like, hey, look, like I care about you, and I want you to succeed, and like then nobody ever really like actually goes deep into it. It's more like it's kind of like how our parents are. It's kind of like how old folk are. Nobody's really deep into it, deep into a conversation. If that
Yeah.
makes sense.
It,
I'm maybe not explaining it right, but
no, I get what you mean. It's always I do find it kind of crazy. It's always people like outside of like your family. I feel like family doesn't really. Well, I have never really gotten into a deep talk with family like that. But like if
mhm,
it's like a person outside, they'll probably if they care about you and like are cool with you, they'll probably get into deep talk, being like, hey, like let me give you some advice because this is where I messed up in life. Like,
mhm,
and they'll give you advice, and it's always people just like that just kind of want to give a helping hand
of course.
like in your life path, and it's actually pretty cool. So
I like to do that to people. I like to talk to them, like especially when I see that especially when I see like that they have
potential.
potential, right? Because it's like don't waste it, like and like nobody ever really openly and like talked to me like that and got like into a deeper conversation with me like that. Nobody ever did, and I always wish somebody did. Like now, I wish somebody did and would actually take the time and talk to me like that, and nobody ever did. And I was like, maybe if I do this to somebody, whether it helps them or not, you know, I'm glad I'll be happy that I do it because at the end of the day, it's gonna benefit them, and I would want to see them succeed.
Yeah, I bet it feels nice because usually like as a guy, I think I don't know how it is for women and stuff, but like as a guy, you're taught kind of like as a man, you're supposed to like figure it out on your own. Like you like grow some balls. You
Yeah,
got this. Like you just get thrown in there, get roughed up. Like learn by yourself.
yeah,
Unless you have like a good mentor or someone that cares to like teach you and stuff and wants you like actually succeed. Like you don't really get that talk where it's just like this is where I messed up. Let me help you so you could start off on the right foot and don't make as many mistakes as I did, and it kind of sucks sometimes, but it's just how it goes. Like hopefully like once I get a son,
you'll be able to
I'm
toss
gonna
them.
mess up a lot obviously, but I'll tell him where to go off on the right foot. That's kind of what parents do already, but like they don't really go deep into it. Well, at least my parents haven't really gone deep
No, they
into
kind
it.
of just give you like a little nudge and
Yeah,
tell you, hey, this is the way to go.
yeah.
They never really go deep into
They just kind of like scold you for like doing
exactly.
certain things, but like they don't really go into depth on why. Say like maybe drinking, they may get mad at you for drinking, but they don't tell you the effects because
The
you
repercussions.
don't really think about the effects of like it could lead into alcoholism. You could get DUIs. You could get into trouble with it. Like
It could
for
ruin your
it could
life.
literally like one bad night could ruin your life, and we're dumb and young, and we just want to get like lit and have some fun, but like we don't really think about if I drive drunk, I could really kill family for like
Yeah,
I could really kill family and ruin the rest of my life.
exactly.
I'm really drunk. I get mad, get in a fight. I could get fucked up, possibly hit my head. I could fuck up someone's
You could
life,
kill
and
somebody
yeah, I
for
could kill
sure.
someone, and just like that,
Your whole
their
life's ruined.
life's ruined.
Definitely.
And like they don't really get into those talks. Well, personally, it's just kind of like a scold. Oh, don't drink. It's really bad for you.
Yeah, and that's it. Yeah, that's how it always is. And I will say like I will share this one story where like not about drinking, but like a time where like I talked to somebody and I guess I helped them out because the reason why I know I did help him out is because actually like a month or two ago he called me out of the blue and like I would always think about this guy because like I would feel bad about the conversation we had. But the reason, I mean, I'll just go into it, right? So basically, I was at this job site, right? And at the time, like, I was actually pretty good at my work now. You know, I actually got taught by like the guy that I was telling you about that I worked at. You know, that he's like a vet and he was like drilling us basically. And yeah, like pretty much I got pretty good. You know, I was a little better than most, I would say. Not trying to like to gas myself up, but I was. And for some reason, I don't know why, I don't know for what reason, but this guy, right, he came up to me and he was like, "Hey," um, he was like, "Can I ask you something?" And I was like, "What's up, man?" He was like, he was like, "I feel like you would be honest with me." He's like, "Do you?" He's like, "And I want you to tell me and be like on completely honest with me. Like, do I?" And and I told him like, "All right, I'll be honest with you. Like, you're asking me to be honest, I'll be honest with you." And he was like, "What am I doing wrong?" It's like, "Am I doing something wrong the way I'm working?" He was like, "Because I feel like whenever I work, people don't notice me. Like the higher ups don't notice me. They don't look at me. They always look at somebody else." He's like, and sometimes I'll be like a higher year than them, and they'll still look at them over me. He's like, I don't understand why. Like I don't get why they overlook me. I don't get why like I don't get what is it that I'm doing wrong. He was like, and I do you see something that I'm doing wrong or what, right? And he's like, and do you think like is there something that I could improve on or something that I could do to help me? And I told him, I'm like, all right. I was like, you want me to be honest? I'm like, all right, I'll be honest. And I told him, look, one thing that I've noticed, I'm like, and this is just from today. I told him, this is just from today. Like every single time I would go from where I was working to go get materials and come back, he was like, I'm like, every single time, and this is not an exaggeration. Every single time I saw you, you were talking. You were sitting there talking. You weren't doing work. You weren't doing what you were supposed to be doing. I'm like, you were just bullshitting. I'm like, I told him the same thing that I told the other guys in the other job site. I'm like, this whole buddy shit, it's not it. Like, you want people to notice you. You want people to actually like take you seriously. Take the job seriously. Like, if you can work and talk, work and talk. If you can't work and talk, don't fucking talk. Just work. I'm like, just work. I'm like, we have breaks here and there. I'm like, talk during the breaks. I'm like, you don't have to be talking to people. I'm like, because the guy that you're talking to, I'm like, if there's a, let's say for example, y'all both come up and y'all get y'all license. I'm like, and he was actually working and learning. I'm like, and there's a job offer. I'm like, he's gonna want that job offer as well. I'm like, that you're going for. Like, who do you think they're gonna give it to? Him, right? I'm like, it's like a dog eat dog world, you know? Like you have to look out for yourself because nobody else is gonna look out for you but
Yeah.
yourself. You know? So I told him like you have to do that. I'm like, you be talking too much. I'm like, you just gotta focus on your work. And I told him, I'm like, what else did I tell him? Um, but yeah, pretty much like what like to sum it up, not to go too deep into the conversation. I just told him to focus on his work and to not be talking so much. And I told him like then people will actually start, paying attention. And I don't know. This is just a summary of what I told him because if I'm being honest with you, like sometimes when I start talking, I kind of get into this flow state and just stuff comes out as it does. And I remember I seen him and I saw like tears in his eyes. And I was like, oh man. Because sometimes when I start talking, I don't look directly at a person. I'll talk. Like, for example, even right now, I was talking, I was looking this
Yeah.
way, and I wasn't looking at you. And then once I finally looked at him, I seen he had like tears in his eyes. And I'm like, oh man. I'm like, I fucked up. I'm like, did I say something wrong? Or did I like go too hard on what I told him? And I'm like, are you okay? And then he was just like, yeah, I'm okay.
But sometimes people really just need that because
Yeah, no,
like
like a
that.
reality check.
Yeah, definitely reality checks help. It helps them like actually like see from an outside perspective of like dang like what am I doing wrong? Because you're not gonna see it. You're just gonna go on living life, but like
Of
other
course.
people see your errors and stuff, and
Of course. And after that, like, we were actually doing it and we were actually it was whenever we had this conversation it was actually after work as we were walking toward the parking lot and I was walking towards my car and that's when he stopped me, right? So literally like after that, Like I was like, you okay? And he was like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm like, you sure? He was like, yeah. And then he like, you know, he put his stuff in his car and he hopped in his car and left. And then I hopped in my car, you know, and I left. And then I was just feeling bad. I was like, damn. I'm like, I feel so bad. I'm like, I probably ruined this kid's, you know, like day.
Ego and stuff like
I'm like,
that.
yeah, his
Like,
ego. I
man.
probably crushed his ego. I'm like, and he texted me after. He's like, yo, he's like, to be honest, you didn't hurt my feelings. You know, it's like, you know, I thank you for being honest with me. And then yeah, you know, whatever that happened. And then I ended up leaving that job site. You know, leaving that job site. And then you know, I started working with the guy that I work now, and we do like service. It's just me and him working together. And I would always think about that guy. I would think about him literally like I would say once, like maybe like once a month or once every couple months. I would his that guy would cross my mind. It would cross
Yeah.
my mind. I'm like, damn, like I feel so bad. Like I made this dude cry, you know. And one, like I told you, one day out of the blue, he calls me and he's like, hey man, and I'm like, oh, what's up? And he's like, oh, you know, I'm just. He's like, I saw your number. He's like, and you know, I thought I'd hit you up. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then he was like, and then you know, we had a little conversation. We're just talking about what we were doing. And then and then he told me, he's like, hey man, he's like, do you remember that one time when we had that conversation in the parking lot?
You must be like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I was like, oh man. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, well, he was like, I've thought about that conversation every day. He was like, and I took what you said into like, you know, I took what you said seriously. He's like, and I did the changes that you told me. He's like, and the point of view, the way that you said to take this job, he's like, I like took it to heart, and I'm actually following it. He said I'm doing it and I'm practicing it. He's like, and he's like, now, he's like, I'm doing fucking great. He was like, he's like the guy that I'm with now. I'm like, he brags about me. He's like, he brags about me. He tells me how good I am now. He's like, I'm actually like working in the office right now because of like, you know, pretty much like, you know, they like me. He's like, cause I'm, you know, I work great. He's like, and honestly, he's like, it's because, you know, that talk that we had. And I told him, like, to be honest, dude, he was like, I was like, thank you for fucking telling me that. I'm like, because I've been thinking about this shit all the time. I'm like, it's making me feel bad. And I'm like, you know, I'm glad that it helped you. I'm like, I'm really glad. He's like, because honestly, I'm like, me being honest with you and actually, you know, telling you things straight up, I'm like, I didn't do it to hurt your feelings. I was really doing it because I really wanted you to succeed.
Mhm.
I'm like, because you're a good guy, you know, and I see you have potential, but you had flaws. I'm like, I have flaws. I don't think I'm perfect either. I definitely have stuff that I can improve on. I'm like, but if I can, you know, help you out and give you some advice, I'm like, I would do it a million times over.
Yeah.
And yeah, pretty much he just it helped because now I don't think about it anymore. It kind of gave me like the peace of mind
Yeah.
that I didn't hurt him, like I helped him.
Yeah. That I bet that would actually like warmed my heart. The fact that I helped him because what type of office job did he have? Did he tell you?
He was talking about how like they have him actually working with blueprints right now,
Oh, that's what's
which
up.
was pretty cool. But I think it was just like a temporary thing for now. Like he kind of just have him, you know, working for it right now.
Mhm.
But he does, I think, a little bit of both. Like he actually goes and works on the field, and then he's like doing a little bit of stuff in the office. But it just helped. It just, you know, it kind of, like you said, it warmed my heart knowing that like it helped him,
Yeah.
and it helped him. It pointed him almost like in the right direction, you know.
Yeah.
And like it's crazy because like this friend of mine, I want to say literally before he called me, because I was actually driving home from school, and I have like my drive from school is like an hour and 40 minutes, right? So as I was driving home from school, one of my friends, he's very religious, and he was telling me, he was like, I was telling him, I don't know, man. Sometimes I'm like, I just feel like like how I was talking about last episode, I overthink things a lot. And he was like, you know what, man? He was like, maybe, you know, like, you know, maybe you were meant to talk, you know, maybe you were meant to talk to people and, you know, help people out like that. And that's literally what he told me, right?
Uh,
And then like right after that, after you know we had that conversation about you know him telling me how like maybe I'm here to help people through a conversation, maybe you know because sometimes that's all what people need. Because I was telling him sometimes how I feel like I'm like just like a lesson to people, and I'll talk to them. They go and do their own life, and they go do good, and you know whatever. And yeah, and then like then after that, that guy calls me. He's telling me, oh, thank you, like for this for a conversation that we had, you know.
that's kind of crazy
And it
to
made
think
it,
about stuff like that.
yeah, it was like random, but it's like I don't know, it just made me feel
Yeah, I've
some
had
type of
actually
way.
some of those moments where I was just completely lost and I just didn't know, and like someone just out of the blue just came to talk to me, and I was like, that's crazy because that's exactly what I was like. That's what's been on my mind. It's kind of crazy. Maybe like God puts people in the paths, and maybe you're one of those people. he gifted you with the talent to like talk, get into deep talks. Because like I said, in the last episode, I chose you because we could have a laugh and stuff, but like we could also get into deep talks like this. It's just
Hmm.
like you could give me advice, you could give me, we could go in the mud, and just like talk about things and stuff like that. And it's really nice to have a person like that, for sure, because the average person doesn't really have a person like that.
It's true.
Um, and it really sucks whenever you're just like, because that's what gives you the feeling of being alone. You don't really have anyone to actually talk to like that.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, like growing up, I didn't have nobody like that. I didn't have nobody that I could talk to. Like, yeah, I had people older than me. I had people that were, that I hanged out with. And I mean, they were there for me, like if I needed them. But I never felt like that. Like I never felt I could really get into a deep conversation with them. And like you said, I did feel alone. Like I did feel very alone, knowing that I didn't have a person like that. And I feel like maybe that's the reason why I try to be a person like that to people. Talk to them. Like let them talk. If they have something deep they want to talk about, they could talk about it with me if they wanted to. Because like I said, like if I wish I had somebody like that. I wish I could have opened up to people, to somebody, and let out some deep thoughts that I had or something that I was conflicted on, and I didn't, right? And maybe like having somebody like that would have changed my course of life or my decisions. But
Yeah, it's crazy how like such a little, like maybe a conversation could like change a person. Like the example you said, that one conversation changed that guy to like having success basically because he got along, he started doing the work and stuff.
yeah,
Like imagine if he didn't have that conversation.
it's true.
Like where would his life be right now? You think he would have quit because he wasn't getting recognized? Like it's crazy to think like one small shift could make this like domino effect happen. I find that crazy sometimes. Like
No,
sometimes you
it's
get a random, what am I trying to say, a random act of
kindness.
kindness, or even a kindness, yeah, even a random act of kindness. It's sad to think, but some people on the daily have thoughts of just like ending their life, and one simple act could change their mind. It's just like one simple thing of you noticing them. It's just like, wow, I'm actually noticed. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe it may have happened to you.
Yeah,
We all, every single person has always had thoughts of like offing themselves, because
yeah.
it's regular. I'm not gonna say I haven't.
Life's hard.
Life's hard, but it's crazy to think just a small change or a small conversation, a small act of noticing someone could really change people's lives, and it's
Definitely.
it's really nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, yeah, like of course, I feel like everybody has. I don't know if everybody has had a thought like that. I definitely have for sure.
No,
I won't deny it.
like I feel like if you came up to me and said you've never had a thought like that,
It's a lie.
it's a lie.
Yeah,
Everyone's had thoughts. They have doubts and stuff. Like maybe of killing themselves or like offing themselves is like a bit extreme, but I feel like everyone's thought about it at least once. Like, man, like what's in it for?
what's in it
What's
for me for like the
Yeah,
long run? Like, what is it for me? Yeah, definitely. It definitely is like that. But I don't know. Like, I feel like if people, one thing about me is like me being like, for example, like honestly, like the way I am in like right now on this podcast, you're not gonna find me like that on the regular.
yeah.
You're not gonna find me like that in a social setting. Like, be honest with
There's
me. Be honest. Like before we actually ever had like a deep conversation or something like that, or like a deep talk, or that we actually got really deep into a conversation. Like if you was like when you saw me like out in parties and all that stuff, did you ever thought I had like that, like kind of like
Oh, for sure,
depth?
definitely not, because I just didn't know you at the time and stuff like that, because in my from my personal experience, you were actually the first person I could actually like go to. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
maybe because I also like looked up to you. I still kind of do.
Mm-hmm.
And you're the person I could you're older than me, so if I got some advice I want, I'd just ask you personally, like But first time seeing you now, I always thought you were like
A little goofball.
not a goofball, just like you always like fucked around. That's kind of your personality. You never
Yeah.
really think a certain person is a certain way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like appearance wise, you would never
Yeah.
think you're that person, but
Yeah.
until you actually meet someone.
That's how I am. But I feel like, if I'm being honest, like I feel like everybody has a mask, like a mask that they put up whenever they're around people. Because I feel like whoever you see originally, like your first impression of somebody is not who they are. Like whoever you see in a social setting, like if you spend time with them, you see them like on a social setting, it's not who they are. I feel like me, the way that I talk right now, the way that I am, I feel like this is me, more me than I guess who I am in a social setting.
Yeah,
But
it makes
also, I feel
sense.
like the way that I am in a social setting, that I joke around a lot. I like making people laugh. Um, I guess I just like cheering people up.
Yeah, for sure. It's really nice to be able to like
I like making people laugh.
kind of be the person to like have a talk with someone and change their
Hmm.
perspective on life and kind of put them off in a different direction. It's nice
Yeah,
to be able to do that. I also like just looking around in a group setting, just making people laugh, doing stupid things. You know,
yeah.
it's definitely fun. But like when it comes down to it, like the real me is nothing like that. It's not a face. I would say it's more of a just like what would I call it? It's more of a kind of a distraction from things. I
Hmm.
would say. It's just something that I find amusing. I find fun. Something for me, basically.
I feel
But
like I feel like my personality for social for social events or for being social, I feel like my personality is more not for me. I feel like it's more for other people.
for other people.
I would say so because like I feel like I had to like it sounds weird, but I feel like I had to adjust my personality to I guess almost like to the sense of being liked. I feel like the real me wasn't likable, which it sounds fucked up.
Hmm.
But as a as when I was a kid, I feel like I wasn't liked. I feel like I wasn't like somebody who I just wasn't liked. But also, I feel like for the settings, for the sense of that fact that like I didn't have nobody to talk to like that, you know. And I feel like I had to adjust my personality of what people liked,
Hmm.
you know, almost like trying to fit in type of way, you
I
know.
feel like that. I feel like that's a lot more common than we think. Like, you just see a certain group, and you see what you like about them, and you fit. You
You
kind of
mimic,
adjust
you mimic
yourself, mimic into like fitting in with the group,
exactly,
and it's actually pretty interesting. And to be able to find your people, you need to be kind of yourself and just find it along the way because
definitely.
there's definitely a friend group you see them like, wow, I wish I could be like them. So what do? You fit in, you mimic, and you.
Exactly. And that's definitely something that I did as like when I was growing up. I definitely did a lot of that. I did a lot of mimicking. I did a lot of like changing of how I wanted to be so I could fit in with this group. I feel like almost like a chameleon almost. And it's like but I feel like even now as an adult, I feel like that kind of that feature or that personality trait just stuck, which is the reason why I feel like I can get along with everybody. But I get along with everybody in every social group because it's like almost it's like second nature now. Like I kind of just mimic real fast, and then I'm like
Yeah, you could just like adapt to the
adapt to
situation
a situation so
or just
quickly. And I
yeah.
feel like that's the reason why like people will say, oh, this guy can spark up a conversation with anybody, or this, I fit in with like everybody, or I'm likable, like because of that reason. I feel like
Yeah, that's certainly a gift. I actually don't know if I'm like that, but I feel like I would say I had my fair share of like friend groups, and I feel like most of them were pretty like different, and I was able to like adapt throughout them, and it was pretty nice because I was just trying to find my friend group and stuff.
hmm
I feel like that's very common. There's only a certain amount of people who are just like them, and just like find their way. But like most of the time, a lot of people just adapt to what they want to fit into and what they see. Like,
yeah. And I feel like that reason. I'm not gonna say like I didn't like the people I hung out with because I definitely did. The people I hung out with, they were all great people, but my interests weren't their interests. Like whatever was interesting to them wasn't what I was interested in, and they just weren't like you said, the friend group that I wanted to be in. Like it just wasn't them. And I feel like that's the reason why I don't really hang out with those people like that no more. For that reason, that like it's like I liked them as a person. They were cool,
Yeah,
but it really wasn't like a person that I'm like. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but
yeah,
it's
they just weren't like you don't see yourself or them in the journey that you want to head towards.
exactly.
That's kind of like why friend groups kind of break apart because people start realizing like, do I want to do this for the rest of my life or because I've seen this thing or you heard the saying that you are the person
That you surround
who
yourself
that you
with.
surround with yourself with, and it's true. Like you, literally, you mimic your friend group.
It's
Like
true.
y'all all mimic each other. Like y'all are all one personality, whether you see it or not. You're all one personality, and it's oh dang, I thought overheated, but you're all one personality, and it kind of just reflects you. And if you want to change that, you kind of gotta divert, and that's why things just break off sometimes.
Yeah.
You just
I feel like I feel like me as a person. I feel like I'm a little bit like I can be my own person, even depending on the group that I am. Because the person that I am is like what I'm telling you. Like I'm just like I shift depending on who I'm talking to, and it's like, but yeah, like I'll mimic them, but at the end of the day, like I'm still like I don't know how to explain it. I guess that's everybody, right? I guess that's everybody, but I don't know. I feel like that's like it's a funny thought. Like it's a funny way of thinking about things that people are like that as well.
yeah, and it's just like honestly something you one has to go through to find their certain where they fit in.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's mandatory for everyone.
For
Like
sure.
you
I
know,
think it's part of growing up.
yeah, for sure. You kind of test out. It's like tasting food. See
Mm-hmm.
what you like, see what you don't like, and you kind of just mold your friends. That's how we kind of make friends.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's probably that's what it is. I feel like for sure. But
Is there certain like friend groups that in your phase of life where you were just like I don't know why I was even friends with them. Like not in a fucked up way where it's just like dang I was really hanging out with those certain types of people. Like you ever reflect and be like, were they assholes or were they?
yeah, definitely. There definitely was a big point. Like actually multiple points in my life. Where I'm like, this is not like what I want for myself, or I want to go into details like of like exactly these people who they
Yeah,
are because I
obviously it's
mean, but
just like a general.
yeah, but like, but definitely there has been like times in my life where like I'm like, damn, should I have been friends with them or because sometimes they'll be doing stuff that I personally don't enjoy or like something that like I'm like, oh, we probably shouldn't be doing this or like. Don't get me wrong, like I ain't no saint, you know. Like I have definitely done like my fair share of like crazy shit, but
But like sometimes there's limits to
yeah, there's
that
limits.
can.
There's
Yeah,
limits to shit,
I have
you
some
know.
situations where it's just like I've been in situations where like, dang, I kind of don't want to do this. This isn't me. Like, what the fuck?
This isn't
Like,
me.
this isn't me. What? Like, no.
Yeah,
Yeah, it kind of sucks being put in those situations. And you're just like,
definitely.
dang, like, are these like the people I want to be with, or like call my friends? You know, it's kind of that. You know, it's just
Yeah, but I feel like for
sucks.
the reason that like those people have came up, I feel like for me at least, the fact that it's came up, they've came up so often, and I've met these people. Not that I've met these people, but like that these friends have shown up so often in my life. I feel like it's the reason why I can say no to things, you know, and be like, I don't want to do this, and if I don't want to do something, I'm not gonna do it, you know. And I feel like some people don't have that. I feel like some
Yeah,
people fall under pressure and be like, all right,
yeah.
I'll do it, even though I don't want to do it.
That's like for me, in a way of saying it, that's like a huge turn off for me.
That people
Well,
can say
not
no.
yeah. People get pressured into like doing things that they don't want to do or that isn't them. I
Yeah,
hate that. Like if you're so easily influenced, like that's really bad. I just personally don't like that. I find that so disgusting in a person. That's just personally me because how are you gonna do something that's not true to your character?
mm-hmm.
It gives you an idea of what type of person
What
that
type of
person
person they are,
is. You know,
definitely.
and it's just like ew, like
Yeah, like have a little backbone,
yeah,
you know,
like
stand up for
like be
yourself.
yourself, okay?
Yeah,
Like come on now, like,
definitely.
don't just do it because they're doing it. You know.
The message of this podcast is pretty much find yourself and be yourself.
Yeah, be yourself, man. Don't put on a mask. Yeah, skip that part. Just like be yourself. Don't try to be someone you're not, and don't fall into peer pressure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But with that being said, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on the notifications
And tune in on the next episode next Tuesday.
next Tuesday. Bye.